Jim and Terry Show with our coffee, and we're ready to talk about things out of this world, off this world. How far? We don't know. Okay, is that the theme song from Twilight
It's like
Zone?
a Twilight
Okay.
Zone or something.
Okay. How about this one?
No, that's I Love Lucy.
Okay. Lucy got some explaining to do. Yeah, we're talking about NASA. Because Artemis 2 did everything it was supposed to do. And you and I were the naysayers for so many years while SpaceX was, what did they do? They tested to destruction?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we were watching all the glorious explosions and saying, yeah, but that's one step closer. Oh, well, that part didn't fail this time. That other part did. And they were getting closer through the iterative production process, just like Model T Fords. SpaceX has, what, 30 rockets ready to be
Blown up. But I do like their philosophy. I'm not a fan of the owner, but I do like their philosophy and I think they will achieve their goals because they're willing to throw the money at it and make mistakes where NASA can't.
And size does matter.
And so, oh God, those rockets are huge.
When can we see the interior of the 100-person crew?
I don't know, but within a couple of weeks there should be a launch, eh? And this time I got a funny feeling this time they're gonna practice. They must have to launch 2 rockets. Well, maybe I'm getting it wrong. I think maybe the next Artemis is docking above
The next Artemis is
practicing docking.
here in a bit.
Yeah, and then the moon.
To the moon!
Alice by 2028.
Okay, so let's talk about the things that we do admire. NASA I admire because it is a cooperative national effort that is international in scope. In our case, we celebrate Hansen, the astronaut who, is it Jeremy Hansen? I'm not sure what his full name is, but he got the ticket to go, and he's been training for this for years, so it predates Trump.
Yeah, and he represented us well, I believe.
I believe so too.
You know who I found really interesting, though? The girl.
Yes, why?
A couple of reasons. Number one, she was in Mad Max, one of the Mad Max movies, as one of the villain little people or something. She was in one of those movies.
Well,
Yeah, and then they just show her back playing with her dog and everything else. Just a very normal human being with unbelievable courage. I'm not going up in that thing, Terry. Because the conversation to them is you may not come back.
well,
And they got enough courage to do
on
it.
the top of everybody's mind. I mean, when you saw that flight path and you saw the way it was going to swing.
What if it just kept going?
Yeah, where's the string to keep it? Well, the string is the invisible string of gravity, the gravitational pull of the moon on one side, on the Earth to draw it back on the other. But the math gobsmacks me every single time.
The moon has been surprising in many ways. So I can't imagine the nerve of those who are willing to say, let's see if gravity
really does work.
All our plans are that this can go this far without breaking the gravity grip. And they're the test people. They're the test pilots. Is this going to hold in gravity? And it did. Thank God. So I take my hat off to them. I take my hat off to all astronauts, quite frankly, and second to test pilots of all kinds as well. They strap themselves in just bombs and see if it's going to work out.
I found something curious. You raised this one to me, so let's just have a little back and forth on it. Some people still believe the moon landing was fake, the Apollo missions were fake. Some people believe this Artemis mission is fake. So I spent some time looking at some videos from people who are saying, and what are the reasons for that? Have you ever heard any other reasons?
I have. The latest about Artemis, I said, if it came firing back to Earth, why did nobody catch it on camera, And, well, number one, there was a lot of catching it on camera by various places, but it came back in daylight. So it ain't going to light up the sky like a shooting star. So it came back in daylight. But I accept their arguments. I just don't find any merit to any of the.
Well, then how can you accept the argument if you don't find merit in it?
I accept why they're being convinced. Number one is some of the people that are trying to convince you that it never happened are people that make thousands of dollars on the
On
internet
their podcasts, yes.
by telling you that it didn't happen. They want as many hits as they can get. So it starts right off. If Artemis came into the atmosphere at 24,000 miles an hour, why this, why that, and the other thing? And so you listen to what they're saying. They may not believe any of it, or they may believe totally they went to the moon, like I do. They went to the moon. The other thing is this circling of the moon takes a real big argument to deny that actually happened, because you got Russia, China, Israel, Japan, Italy now, I think, and Canada and stuff would all have to agree that it's a hoax. But let's have this hoax. Why? It just doesn't make any sense. And I don't believe it's just so you can get government grants.
Well, I heard a specific claim about the Artemis 2 mission being faked, and that's that at liftoff, there are these, I'm going to call them cages, but they're something like an escape pod version of things, and they go down a zip line.
I saw it.
So you see these cages right as the liftoff is happening, and they were saying people were in those, they were already out of there. There was nothing up there that was going up. Who knows where it went?
Yeah, so you would release those cages in the middle of the takeoff. If nobody's internet don't matter, why would you do that? They could sit there for half a day and then come down. Truth of the matter is the cages are moved so they don't get burned up. That's the reason the cages are moved.
You must have watched the same show.
No, I didn't. It just makes common sense.
It does make sense.
Whoa, look at the towers move away. Why are those arms moving away? So they don't burn up. That's why. It's a lot of power, a lot of fire.
The other thing that you mentioned was a calculation that the distance traveled and the speed that they claimed didn't add up. You said that was one, and I don't know how that works at all.
Well, it doesn't really work. I mean, I didn't have time to argue the point too much. But number one, you're spending a day and a half or whatever orbiting the Earth. So that to get the speed up to the speed they're traveling. Number two is they're not just taking a direct shot at the moon. It may be...
It's a moving target.
It may be 430,000 miles away from Earth, but it's a moving target, number one. Number two is you loop around. So you go out one side and you come in the other side. And the other thing is you're waiting for certain openings to avoid the radiation shields and everything else that takes place. So it's not a direct path, but people want to go for that. Number one, they want a reason to believe it's fake because it's part of their conversation. Well, I have a son whose boss believes exactly like he does.
My question is why do you need not to believe? Why do you not believe the science behind it? So my question is always one of physics and math. What are your calculations? Who agrees with you? And if you can show me that the majority of physicists, astrophysicists, mathematicians agree with you, then I will listen to your arguments. But if, on the other side, the majority, like 99.9% of scientists agree that this is all real, then who are you?
And that would be millions and millions of people who have access to the internet now.
There you go.
So that's not being thought of.
This is something that I am trying to explore, something called DYOR, do your own research.
No, I leave that up to you.
That came, thanks. I don't want that cross to bear myself, but I do find it curiouser and curiouser that the internet has made, and I don't think I've got the book still here, but it's called The Death of Expertise. It's sort of made everybody who, not that it's as reflective on intelligence at all, but who might have dropped out of education, not got a formal education to a post-secondary or post-grad level, but everybody thinks they can do their own research because the internet makes research.
It's who you're listening to.
So take all the knowledge that's big, so you quantify it. So all this is available to you on the internet. But out of all that knowledge, the stuff that is the algorithm of the search engines has already predetermined that you are interested in is less than half of the total that's out there. And then you start clicking and going down rabbit holes that narrows that algorithm even further so that you're just reinforcing your own bias. Confirmation bias is a big danger.
Well, I've said that for the longest period of time because we are going to be gravitating to what we want to hear, and what we want to find, and that's the hard one. We want to find.
It takes effort to get out of what you want to find to say, okay, find the opposite and show me the evidence on the opposite side.
That takes discipline.
It does. And here's the other thing. A lot of it, and I appreciate your dyslexia in this argument, it takes reading. I can't tell you how many books I read, especially through COVID. I had so many books come to me from Amazon because I could get them online, delivered to the porch. But reading, there's no substitute for internet, do your own research versus going to a library, going to the University of Toronto Library, going to the Toronto Metro Reference Library on Bloor. You can't substitute that kind of sit down with a mountain of books. Do it.
Yeah.
Work your way through it. Do your own research. Artemis 2. Real
or Memorex.
The Terry Show. We find this stuff interesting. We don't like Musk, but we like what he's doing.
Have you heard?
Have you heard? Jim and Terry Show signing out. It's complicated. It's complicated. This relationship.
It sounds really good. It does.